Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello viewers, welcome back to this course on ESD. So, in the last class I think we have concluded the sustainable education, the conceptual model for education. Now, today we will begin with new topic, that is sustainable leadership. As you can see, the two components are here embedded, like sustainability, and another is the leadership. Okay, so let us begin with this topic. Now, the first thing is that we need to ask ourselves, actually what do we need by the sustainable leadership? What is or why actually we do need the sustainable leadership in leaders in present day context? What is this sustainable leadership? So, let us ask these questions to ourselves and reflect on these things. Oh, of course, these are some of the common definitions of leadership. Yes, that all of us we know that yes, leadership is about envisioning and shaping the future. It is about guiding the people. It is about cherishing some dreams and motivating the followers to achieve that goal. It's a teamwork. There are so many dimensions, so many aspects of leadership. So, we can briefly say that yes, leadership which are common to all, the leadership is about envisioning and shaping the future. Sustainable leaders look beyond the present situation, look beyond the just resolving or solving the present problem, but they look beyond the immediate goal or short term goal. They look beyond this present situation. Their visions, their missions, their goals are far ahead of the present time, and also in which context they work, whether they work in the social context, organizational context, educational institutional context, or administration context. In whichever context they are working, they play a major role. So, what are the requirements? What are the requirements of that context, that organization, that institution, and how to go beyond the present time and present problems and solution and look for a sustainable future. Sustainable future. So they set the strategies and ensure the delivery of the results that meet the triple bottom line of social, environmental, financial performance. So, when we talk about sustainable leadership is that yes, sustainable, the component, the concept sustainability further added the triple bottom line concepts like the vibrant economy, equitable society, and healthy environment. So, ecosystem, a healthy ecosystem, people, that is social domain, and as well as the economic domain. So, here when we combine this educational leadership leadership with sustainability, then sustainable leadership definitely they look for the strategies which are viable in the sustainability domain framework, and they ensure that the delivery of the outputs or the results or the learning outcomes, the performance outcomes, they fit into this triple bottom line components of sustainability framework of sustainability, that is they meet the social equitable distribution of resources, access, everything, environmental sustainability, that means look for the more eco-friendly environment, healthy environment, and financial autonomy, that is the financial performance in terms of a very vibrant and sustainable economy. So, here as you can see, leadership is required very much everywhere. However, the functions, roles, strategies differ from one leader to another leader with respect to the context in which he performs, in the context in which his followers, his fellow workers are there, team members are there, in which context and what goals they have set for themselves. Accordingly, their approaches, their strategies differs. But when we talk about sustainable leadership, definitely it has to fit into the criteria of sustainability. As you can see, sustainability and leadership, when they are embedded, so this portion, when they are embedded, so this portion you can say this common area, you can say overlapping area, you can say it is the domain of sustainable leadership. So, They not just look for the vision for the future, for the long term goals, for the effective strategies, but they have to work within the framework of sustainability. That is, whatever the outcomes will be there, the results will be there, the productions will be there, the performance outcomes will be there. It has to fit into the triple bottom line of the sustainability, that is the vibrant economy. It has to boost vibrant economy, it has to justify the equitable society, and it has to protect the healthy environment. So, next we can see the what is the then why do we need sustainable leadership in the present time. So, what is the need of the hour? As you can see, this is the pyramid of sustainability, the pyramid of sustainable enterprises, like as you can see from the external to internal, then sustainable people are there, sustainable designs are there, sustainable process would be there, sustainable consumptions, consumers are there, then only sustainable growth is there. So, in one aspect, that is the type of initiative taken, and another is the type of sustainable environment that has been created. So, it is a it is a demo, it is a picture, it is a design of a sustainable enterprise. So, why do we need the sustainable leadership in the present day? Okay. So, as you can see in the present scenario, post COVID and post, you can say, global financial economic slowdown. So, there has been a significant shift in the type of leadership, not only leadership seen or required across the business. It will vary definitely, it varies from organization to institution to startup business to service oriented industries to to small scale and medium scale industries to multinational corporations. So, in different setup, in different stage, in different context, as per the requirement of the different business houses. So, there has been a significant shift in the type of the leadership and the demand for their strategic actions. So, that is the need of the hour. It requires a significant shift from the traditional type of leadership to a more customized type of leadership, more sustainable type of leadership, to not only just achieve the criteria, vision, mission of the businesses, but to deal with the deal with the present and the future prosperity, future scope, future prosperity and future sustainability of the organizations. So, here because in the present times, because of the n number of factors, because of the slow economic slowdown, unemployment, population explosion, climate change, and resource depletion, and diminishing natural resources, resource depletion, and unequal development across the globe. So many, these are the challenges that we are facing nowadays. Similarly, these are of course we have made progress in some aspects, like in technology we have made progress, innovation also we have made progress. Again, even also we are trying to update our economic policies and more business friendly for the foreign countries also, in terms of introducing FDIs and other kinds of schemes. So, these are some advantages are there even then. So, in the context of so many global challenges, so we have to ask the question, can actually technological development will solve all the problems, all our solution? Can it bring solutions for all sort of problems, or it needs to be addressed in a different way? So, are there more factors to be addressed and enrolled? So, if so, what are those factors? So, these how for the very innovation to be embedded in the development of thinking and sustain there, because of the increased well-being generated for all sections. Like whenever we are implementing any innovation, it has to be again embedded in the framework of development, and again it has to customize the needs of every category of stakeholders. There may be direct stakeholder, there may be indirect stakeholder, looking at their ambitions, their goals, their well-being, welfare, etc. So, how can we satisfy, how can we meet all the challenges for all the stakeholders and the participants in the society to ensure the common well-being and a sustainable future for all. So, is there not a need to think and plan? So, here again That is why we need to think in a different way, in a very reflective way, in a very customized way, in a very strategic way, that the today's solutions do not become the tomorrow's problem. Yes, we are trying our level best to satisfy all the stakeholders, to bring happiness and well-being for all our participants and citizens. It's okay, but it should be sustainable in nature, in the sense that it should not, this today's problems, solution of the problems should not be temporary, should not be very should not be vulnerable for the future sustainability of the future sustainability scope and opportunity. So, how to ensure, how to restore, how to save, how to protect our future, and not just by solving the present problem, but also to make it more strategic to ensure sustainability in future as well. So, for that we need to have deep thinking, reflective analysis, critical evaluation, then action plan, strategy formulation, and experimenting on these strategies. So, that is why today's solution need to be more you can say cautionary, in the sense that it should not create any further problem in future, for the future generations. So, as you can see, our leaders, we need the leaders who are the change makers. Of course, we look up to the leaders as not just as the motivators, or as not just as the guide and philosopher and catalyst and enablers, but also change makers, and who can take the decision along with the different stakeholders, who can adopt the solutions through the win-win approach. So, we depend on them both motivationally, emotionally, socially, intellectually also. Like we have great expectations from them, because we expect them to go beyond the common sense or common approach, and go beyond, and to that means to collaborate with everybody, with all kinds of stakeholders, cooperate, and to go beyond with the vision and mission, that is so that they can bring a kind of consensus, a win-win approach to everybody. So, like imagine for example, the union leader in the company, in the organization, in the industry. So, every level, every worker, they look up to the look up to their leader, with the hope that yes, our leader will definitely look for the welfare and well-being of all of us. So, with such a path, such a consensus path, such a such a positive way of win-win approach, or he can give us the win-win situation to all of us. So, we will not be suffered, will not be losing anything if we depend on that leader. So, but that, to build up that trust on the leaders, to build up that trust on the leader, it takes time, and all the team members and the workers, and just for them to accept the leader as a person who take seriously their welfare and well-being, and on whom they can rely upon, they are confident of. So, that also of course takes time. So, that is why then leadership, the leaders, in order to establish themselves, in order to build that trust, in order to build that rapport, they have to work hard in the very beginning. So, they have to go through the different steps and stages to establish themselves as a popular leader, as a welfare leader, as a sustainable leader, as a transformational leader, this kind. So, that they can bring, so they will always look for a positive step through which they can achieve all success. They can bring win-win success, or success to every party with a strategic approach. So, here we can say leaders who can see the interconnectedness between various issues and take a holistic approach while going forward. So, in the organizations, sometimes some different types of the problems are there, related to task, related to process, related to different kinds of portfolio assignment, then interpersonal also it happens. So, different types of chaos and the conflicts and dilemmas are there, but how the leader should approach it. So, first thing is that yes, of course, the communication skills are very important here. First, listening, patient listening, then listening to everybody, then analysis on the whole thing. So then actually the leader, by listening and analyzing, he wants to grasp, actually he wants to grasp the whole situation, so that he can find out, with proper analysis he can find out how these issues, how these concepts and conflicts and the dilemmas are interconnected. So where from it has started, what is the source of its of this conflict, what is the source of this dilemma, and how these very different situations and contextual factors and the statements and the issues have been interconnected, and how it has become such a big issue, etc., like all this. So they always look for the interconnectedness, or they always approach a problem in a very holistic perspective, in the sense that to analyze and to get the true picture of the not only the cause and effect relationship, but how different variables, different aspects, different situations, different contextual factors, how they are interlinked and how they have created such a this kind of situations. So far they need to understand the whole thing, they need to understand the whole thing with a holistic approach. So here again with the increasing awareness of nowadays of the climate change, with the impact of business on the environment, and with the advocacy of UNESCO Sustainable Development Goals for the sustainable consumption, for sustainable production, and sustainable lifestyle, and sustainable how to make our society, our planet, our earth, a sustainable earth with the conservation of resources, all kinds of things which are more not just eco friendly, but people friendly and prosperity friendly. So it is that is why it is very important for these again to embrace the sustainable framework while getting the solutions of different kinds of the problems. So here the 3 P's, that people, planet and prosperity, or the profit, that is these 3 P's are very important for embracing to embrace for our leadership, be it organization, be it institution, be it community, be it school, whatever. So that is why this everywhere nowadays these 3 P or these sustainability framework are being adopted, are being applied, because we have to do whatever we are doing, whatever we will do, we have to take care of the future. So that in present time whatever we should do in such a way that our future is more secure, sustainable, etc. So that is, so we have to, so it is a kind of sustainability, as we have already discussed, is a it is a kind of framework, it is a kind of paradigm or thought process, is a kind of mindset. So how to bring that change, like how to inculcate, how to induce everybody to think in a sustainable way. So therefore we have to make it as a habit. So here leadership, for leadership also, their leadership, every leaders nowadays are thinking of getting the solutions of every problem, but in every problem in a very sustainable way. So organizations are also now increasingly expected to take the responsibility for their own activities, for their own for the activities like whatever they are producing and its impact on the climate, on the environment, and so that is the other activities like not just the consumer or customer satisfaction, services, etc., but workers or workers welfare, but also they have to look for the wider implications of their production and of their organizations for the natural environment, for the resources, for the economy, for the for the economy. So by introducing different kinds of techniques and strategies and mechanisms, like for example waste management, then again how you have to map, you have to measure how much carbon footprint you are creating for the environment, how much damage, how you are controlling this damage, what are the then again how you are investing your CSR. So how, that means with the minimum carbon footprint, with the maximum protection of our natural environment, with the minimum resource depletion, with the maximum welfare of workers, customers, consumers, so and with the maximum outcome with the minimum resources. So these are some of the strategies they have to adopt, they have to apply before thinking of starting any business or organization or industry. So these are, so nowadays also for starting, for even for the startup business or even for or the bigger organization also, so many policy, environmental policy, economic policies, then the social policies are also very much mandatory, has become very much mandatory to follow the criteria. So now as you can see the sustainability leadership, these are some of the ladders you can see. this is sustainable leadership is for example, the simple leadership, you can say leadership theory, systems theory, transformational leadership theories are there, transactional theories of leadership are there, common or the commanding or the controlling kind of leadership is there, democratic kind type of leaderships are there. But again, when it comes about the sustainability leadership, yes, sustainability leadership has the dimensions like, yes, definitely first thing is that it is non-hierarchical, it's not very hierarchical on the base and a very vertical nature, that means there is no hierarchy like the bureaucratic structure. So, non-hierarchical and dispersed distributed kind of leadership. Again, roots of professionalization is very much important. In whichever domain you are working, you need to have the professional skills, competencies, increase professionalization and ecological balance. So, here professionalization, why it is required? To deal with the economic factors, to deal with the social factors, people factors and human resource development factors, and also making a eco-friendly and ecological dimension of sustainability leadership. So, as you can see from this picture, that these are the traditional, these are the regular, the traditional kind of theories aiming at the different types of leadership. But again, the types of leaderships are very much required for depending on the context of performance, context of work, context of situation, context of organizational business, etc. But besides this, the sustainable leadership, they need to acquire these kind of other aspects. Okay. So, therefore, there is an urgent need in the business today for the new type of leadership, that is the long term sustainability and making the things right, strategic. You have to make the right choice, strategic choice in order to create this for the sustainable future. As you can see from this picture, picture, yes, now it has here again based on this triple bottom line, it for example, in the functional framework, it has the 4 dimensions. Again, one is of course economic dimension, financial dimension, again socio-cultural, in which context you are establishing, starting the business, socio-cultural dimension is also important. Then environmental dimension. Okay. So, then environmental, economic and financial is that expenses and the present cost, benefit, etc. and economic is that for the prosperity, for the future prosperity, like the growth of economic growth, job creation and creation of many resources. So, environmental, economic and socio-cultural, here again society and the cultural factors and the financial. So, within these 4 quadrant, we can say these things are the n number of things have been categorized, starting from agriculture to tourism to management, how all these activities can be related, financial sustainability, budget, business plan, health, safety, food security, heritage, connection of the land, sense of community, wastage, waste management, water management, climate change, transportation, natural areas of stewardship, land wise planning. Then you can say the prosperity, that is village and village vitality, rural community. So, these are n number of activities where sustainability has to be ensured. So, each pillar and theme is interconnected. So, however, all these things are interconnected, all set of activities are interconnected, because everything is directed here either directly related to one domain, but indirectly related to other domains. So, these are to be felt, all these factors are interconnected to each other. Hence, whatever we take up, whatever activity the leader takes up or the group of leader and his groups are taking up, be it tourism, be it production, be it agriculture, be it waste management, whatever, it has to be sustainable. The task, the goal should be sustainable, the process to be adopted is sustainable, and the performance outcomes should also be sustainable. So, that is to create the focus is that how to create a sustainable future for all. So, as you can see this how leadership and sustainability are quite integrated, quite closely related, are embedded in a very conducive and cohesive manner, that is demand for adventure. This is just the clipping. So, leadership and as you can see, so the sustainability challenges are increasingly interconnected as we are progressing towards the as we have already landed up in the 21st century and moving towards, and we are not only facing different kinds of challenges, but also we are also facing the sustainability challenges, because the resources are the resources are falling short of, and population explosion, and because of other reasons also, environmental reasons, economic reasons also, that means population explosion also, we have to deal with this resource depletion or the shortage of resources. How the sustainability challenges are increasingly connected across the traditional discipline and the geographical areas, that we need to understand it. First thing is that we need to understand it. So, here for example, at each and every step we have to not only reflect on this, but we have to analyze the cause and effect relationship, we have to analyze the interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, interdomain and interconnected spheres of interactions. So, social and organizational challenges are also there, they are also going to share and be shaped in this revolution. Similarly, social, organizational, socio-economical, social, environmental. So, therefore, all the leaders, they need to address these things, must address these things and perform or act upon these things with the intensity, with the focus on the sustainability challenges. So, now this is the learning cycle, as you can see. First thing is that yes, we need to understand the whole situation first. Yes, assessment of learning and the programs. So, whatever situation, in whichever context we are working, we need to understand it. So, assessment of learning programs, whatever we are intervention or training or workshop, whatever we are designing, be it the solution, etc. So, first thing is to clarify the vision, values and the goals, etc. Second, they can create the measurable and program and learning outcomes. Whatever program, whatever new plan, program or the course, whatever we design, definitely we first of all we set up the clear vision, mission, goals, objectives, etc. What we need to achieve and what is the timeline, etc. Then again, whether the learning outcomes or performance outcomes are really measurable or not, and how to measure it, then only we can evaluate the effectiveness. So, then comes to determine the measures, what would be the measures, both the quantitative measure, qualitative measure, to assess, to measure these kind of outcomes. Then we have to chalk out and implement the plan, strategic plan. So, then implementation of the plan, then thereafter assessment of the outcomes during and after the plan. In between, from time to time also mapping can be done, monitoring can be done, for even in the educational process also formative evaluations, assessment can be done from time to time, at the same time at the end of the plan. So, execution of the plan. So, assessing the outcomes during and after the plan, and thereafter analyze, interpret and use the results. So, nowadays again it is the age of the big data analysis. Even if it is a data analysis is a very common thing, because when we are taking we are dealing with the large data, how can we get a picture out of this regarding whatever plan we are introducing, whatever equipment, innovation, practices, anything whatever we introduce, we have to see its impact. Now, with the larger data, big data, how can we assess and evaluate its impact? So, that is a big data analysis. Even in HR also, HR analytics, there everywhere there is analytics. HR analytics is there, customers need satisfaction analysis, marketing, marketing sales, from marketing sales to HR to finance, everywhere there is that analytics is there. That means data analysis, big data analysis, interpretation and the results Then only we can evaluate whether this strategy has been very effective or not, impactful or not, and if not, if it is at all impactful, what is the percentage of its impact, and for the whether it is sustainable or not, and if not, how can we change. So, to evaluate any significant impact of any new strategy, new work process, new equipment, new software, whatever we introduce, we have to, first thing is that we have to set its clear goals, expected learning outcomes, how to measure it. Again, actually properly measuring that, developing the measuring tools and to measure that is also important. Then after that, analysis, interpretation, then only we can see its impact. So, from there we can find out, again that impact will be analyzed, whether it is sustainable or not, what the impacts how both the quantitatively and qualitatively, its implications for environment, for the society, for economic prosperity, everything again. So, here this learning cycle, again it is relevant for any kind of innovation, any kind of leadership performance, any kind of problem solving that is happening nowadays. It has to be the impact, the result has to be sustainable, not just for the present, but for the future generation. So, this is the basic framework of sustainability and sustainable leadership. So, how this sustainability framework can be adopted, can be embedded in not just solving the problems, but also taking care of our future. So, now I am concluding here right now. The next class I will just continue with this thing. Thank you very much.